I'm Tom Vasel, and welcome to Board Game Breakfast on the Dice Tower. So this is an unusual week for us in America. This is the week of our Thanksgiving. So there's a couple things. First of all, today, probably before you're even done watching this video, or soon, we're going to be starting the Dice Tower 24, well, now it's I think like 30-hour marathon with special guests, all the guys here in the studio. We're going to be just playing games and having fun, and you can win games. It's sponsored by Awakened Realms, and so there'll be plenty of games that you can win just by coming in and watching live. So we hope you have a good time with that. We got a lot of things planned for that. And you know what? That's all we're doing this week, is that 24-hour marathon. We're taking the rest of the week off because we want to spend time with our families over the American Thanksgiving holiday. And I usually put up videos during the Christmas holidays and New Year's holidays. So I picked something over the course of the year where we do take time off, and this is that week. So I hope that you enjoyed that. And after the marathon's over, as time goes by, we will eventually pull out the different games and publish them separately if you want to see them. But hopefully you enjoyed that. Hopefully you have a good time. We hope to see you there. So lots of different things going on, obviously, all over the internet. And we got contributors ready to talk about games. So let's just jump in. One of the things I found on the internet this week was Board Game Geek's Christmas exchange going off. And I thought that'd be, it's one of those things I always find interesting. It goes off every year. I mean, the original Secret Santa that they run was run by me. I initially did one, I think, on my own. I ran a Secret Santa, had people send it to me. I put everyone's names in a spreadsheet as I got them, and then I took all their names and cut and pasted them and moved it like 6 down or something like that, and then everyone had a random person, and I sent them out. And then when Board Game Geek first started it, they made it automatic, which really helped, and I ran that for a while, and then it got to be too much just stuff going on. I was running the Dice Tower at the time. And they have a much better system in place now. Board Game Geek does a fantastic job. And in fact, a few years ago, they made it so that anyone can run. They have their big official one, but you can go run one. Like I'm part of one this year, Christmas cards that are sent to different people. And you can go in there and make your own Secret Santa for 6 people if you want to. So I like that aspect of it. And the Secret Santa thing's a fascinating thing. So we always say in these Secret Santas, it's all about the giving, not the receiving. We say that really loud. There's always people who try to, I call them the Scrooges, of course, who try to send a small game and hope they get a big one in response. And there certainly is that bit of jealousy in there when you see somebody like, look what I got! My Santa's amazing! And you're thinking, oh great, my Santa was less than amazing. And there kind of was a culture built up around it where some of the Santas would taunt people behind the scenes. They would send them little things like, ooh, what's coming? And then if you didn't get that, then some people got upset. I always found it to be an engaging thing to send a bunch of games to people. I never really got into the taunting part, but I just like to send someone something nice. And then some people criticize the whole thing in a sense. They're like, why don't you just go out and buy yourself a game? Because that's what you're doing. You're buying a game for someone else, and then someone else will look at your want list and buy a game for you. But I think people do it because, one, it's fun to get a surprise. If you buy a game for yourself, you know what you're getting. If it's off your want list or something. And then if someone adds into that, oh look, they put in some candy with it or something, that's like a nice addition that's added to that. And it's also just nice to get something in the mail that you don't know what it is or who it's from, and then a lot of people do it because they actually like giving. In fact, there's some people, phenomenal people, who click give only, and they only send one out. And so I like the idea of the Secret Santa. I'm glad to see it still continuing. It's well over a decade of it running now at this point in time. And so if you're watching this, you might be like, oh, I wish I could have been involved. But there may be some that you could still jump in on. The big official one is already in the middle of running, but there are other ones that you can probably jump into. So the Secret Santas at Board Game Geek, check them out.
Real-time cooperative games? If you have heard of Kitchen Rush, this is sort of similar. Rush MD coming up. Hi everyone, it's Stella. Whether you're working well or not under time pressure, this game is super fun. You get to work together with other players in real time, trying to treat patients in hospital, including giving them pills, giving them new kidneys or hearts or other organs, giving them injections, diagnosing patients, and the list goes on. So the game goes for 4 rounds with 4 minutes each round. You need to use hourglass as worker placement to heal certain amount of patients to win the game. There are times you need to wait until the hourglass is empty until you can move it to the next spot. There are different types of illness, the easy ones or the ones need surgery. It's such a chaotic fun game. In surgery, you need to use tweezers to pick up organs and putting things inside the syringes. It's difficult sometimes. Oh, and the heart is the hardest one to pick up with tweezers. I mean, look at the size. The beds that you place the patients are super cute. They make great table presents. I mean, the whole game makes great table presents. There are other various mechanics in the game when it comes to diagnosing the patient. There are 4 types of them. And one, for example, is you need to put a cardboard token and try to balance your hourglass until the time runs out. So the Dice Tower 24 hours Thanksgiving Marathon is coming up. Me and Taryn will play through Rush MD then. So watch out for it. Well, thanks for watching. We are on the Dice Tower How to Play videos and Meeple University on YouTube. See you next time.
Hi everybody.
Hello, we are Ryan and Bethany.
From Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews.
Well, today we're going to be talking about trekking the national parks. But before we do, we're going to talk about what we're doing to achieve better health. So I recently started intermittent fasting, and some of you guys had some fantastic suggestions, so thank you for that. But now I've got some anxiety about what to do going into the holidays. There are, Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's, and my birthday's in the middle of that, and a whole bunch of other holidays and parties in the middle of that as well. So what I want to do is I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear what your experiences are, what tips you might have for how to make better choices and eat better this holiday season.
Go ahead and leave a comment below for Ryan. But we're going to talk about trekking the national parks. This is a game literally about trekking the national parks in the United States.
Yes, you've got this large board of the United States, and you have these multi-use cards with numbers and symbols on them. You use the number part of the cards to travel around the board and pick up these little stones that represent where you've been, and then you use the symbols to cash in those symbols in order to draw those cards that have the national parks on them in order to show that you've achieved that goal, and you get those points. Whoever has the most points wins at the end of the game.
Alright, so this game is amazing because I think it would draw people into the hobby because of the theme and the simplistic gameplay that aren't necessarily hobbyists. I think it's awesome in that. And while we were playing this, I had a list of, as of right now, 3 people that I want to tell about this game who are not board gamers, but I think that it would appeal to them and I think it would get them into the hobby.
Yeah, I think this game has a really nice production to it. It's fast, it's easy to teach, it's easy to set up and tear down. We were able to teach our 6-year-old daughter this game too, and I was able to show her all the different states and all the different national parks that I've been to, and had this really kind of good teaching moment. So while it's not necessarily an educational game per se, it has kind of educational moments of where the national parks are, what kind of things you can do with each one, and it was a really cool concept.
If you want to hear our full thoughts on that, go ahead and check out our YouTube channel, Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews, and you can follow us on Facebook under Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews. Well, this is Ryan, I'm Bethany, hoping that you have a happy and healthy breakfast.
Bye guys.
So what's getting added to the library this week? Well, Mezzo, for sure. I do like this game a lot. The bite-sized copy of Seventh Continent. We got 2 18XX games, both 1824 and 18CZ. People will like both of those, I'm sure. Minara, a game that should have been in there. To our kids' library, we're adding the Crusoe Crew. Blockbuster, the party game. Dragon Realm, this is also for our kids section. And then for the adult section, we have Sarah's Vision. It sounds bad, the adult section. Kung Fu Panda, Papillon, and Cities Skylines. And that is what we're adding to the library this week.
Hey guys, it's Nick back for Mental Health Minute, and I want to talk about Fog of Love. Now, Fog of Love was made by a licensed psychiatrist, and I am also a therapist myself. And when looking at this game, I felt that it was necessary for me to try. It's staying on my shelf, but not for the reasons you might think. This is not something that when you go into it psychologically speaking, that's really going to work the way you would think it would work. It's too varied, it's too many scenarios, it's too much complication. However, this game is still extremely fun and extremely, frankly, hilarious. You can pair up anybody in history with, does Abe Lincoln get along with George Washington in a romantic situation? Maybe. I don't know. You could try it, though. It's hilarious. I played this with a bunch of my guy friends, girlfriends, and it's hilarious. My suggestion would be, don't play it with your significant other in a scenario where you two are both playing the characters. Role play it. Choose different characters. Don't choose it as a one-on-one because sometimes it will lead to arguments that you might not be ready to have in that relationship. Sometimes it will lead to conversations that's like, whoa, what are you going to answer? And you're looking at your partner like, and feeling pressured to answer it in a certain type of way. I wouldn't put yourself in that scenario, but it's your opportunity. So you can get this game for $10 in certain places right now. It's really widely available, and it's at least fun to play once and then tell yourself you played at that price. I'm keeping it on my shelf because it amuses me. And there are expansion packs galore, 3 starting in the box itself. So, my name's Nick. Do enjoy your breakfast.
Happy breakfast, everybody, from Singapore. But what I'm actually going to talk to you about is Love Letter that I've been taking around Nepal and Singapore for a couple of days. So this worked really well in Nepal because I was carrying it in a backpack, so it had to be really small. And I've got the new version, the 2018-2019 English version, which comes in like a small cloth bag rather than a box, which makes it ideally portable. Now, it's also got a couple of new roles, so it's got the Spy and the Chancellor, and having played the old versions, going back to the old one, I'd missed those roles, or at least I'd missed the Spy role, which is a nice fun way to get an extra point in the round. Also, the victory point tokens, the favour tokens you're going for, the new ones are sort of plastic discs. They're much better than the old red cubes. Artwork's a little bit different, but otherwise you're not looking at that too much. It's a great game to teach new people. I've played it with someone from Germany, a couple of people from Germany, and they loved the game. And a lot of people from England or Scotland. Everyone's got the game and have really enjoyed it. Now, it is the sort of game that the first time they play, if they've not played in a sort of a game like it, 10 different cards, it puts them off a little bit. But as soon as they're a round in, they can see why it's a great game and love playing it. And sort of the banter starts rolling with, do you have the princess? Both when you're playing and after, which was ideal for sort of hiking and trekking and going around sort of a fabulous country, there being that extra sort of layer of fun with the group. Anyway, that's Love Letter. Highly recommend it, and I'm Oliver East, signing out.
Today I want to talk about the player mat. So here, this just came in with a game. The game's called Radiant. So this is a player mat, and these are neat. I've been telling people that if somebody can figure out how to fold these player mats and put them in a box so that they don't look like this per se, then I think they'll replace boards. The thing about a player mat is that the artwork really pops on them. They lay nice and flat on the table. You don't have any warping with them. They're one continuous board. They feel good. There's just a lot to like about them. The difficulty is in storing them. Now, there's different ways people store them. Some people roll them up, and I saw some people use wine cellars where it holds wine bottles to hold them in that. I personally don't roll mine up. I lay mine like this, and I put them on pants hangers, and then put the pants hangers on a rack, and then if you need one, you just pull it off. It's still a little bit annoying because when you get the mat and then you get the game, they're not together, and that's kind of, it's a problematic thing. When the Dice Tower Library, we put a sticker, play mat available for this game, so you can go get the play mat. This kind of play mat is for the 2-player games. The Magic the Gathering people use them, and lots of games use them. This Radiant game must be a 2-player game back and forth. Sometimes they have information about the game on them. I find those very useful. Dice Master is really handy to have that on there. Sometimes they're mostly like this, and it's just a place to play cards. Less useful because I don't know that it really matters. You could just be playing on the table. But I get the people want to have the artwork for the game. I find that they work best usually something like this because you have a cool artwork, but then you have a lot of blank space area for the cards. There are some mats I've seen where it's just very problematic to figure out where anything is. Then there's those really big mats, the Rising Sun and mats, things like that have these big mats to play the game on, and those things are phenomenal. I really like using them. Like I said, the biggest problem with those is the actual storing of the mat itself. So what do you think about player mats? I mean, again, I really wish there was a way to conveniently put them in boxes because I think they're fantastic. I would rather use them over a board any day. But that storage thing is a problem. When you back a Kickstarter, do you pick the mat if it's an option? I kind of lean towards doing it. You know, it's again, I think they just really pop and look fantastic on the table. But maybe you want everything in that box, or maybe you think it's just an extra cost. It's an unnecessary excess to get to the game. For me, a mat board is one of the upgrades to a game that I'm more interested in than anything else. It's metal coins and upgraded components, like, you know, goods and stuff, and then mats. Those are the three things I really like in a game. So mats, I'm glad people make them. I think there's probably too many of them, but I don't know that that's necessarily a bad thing.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Mystery Component Monday, a segment where I show you a picture of a game piece, and it's up to you to try to guess what game that piece comes from. So, without further ado, let's put on our thinking caps, because here is this week's picture. Okay, time is up, magic wands down, and thinking caps off. And the answer to this week's question is the Quacks of Quedlinburg. Quacks of Quedlinburg is a bag-building, press-your-luck game where players will be trying to make the best healing remedy potions they can, using a variety of ingredients such as pumpkins, mushrooms, spiders, and mandrakes, amongst other ingredients. Players may also use rat tails to enhance their potion's potency. At the start of each round, a fortune teller card will be read and possibly give a benefit to all players. At the end of each round, players will score points and attain money to buy more powerful ingredients, depending on how well they made their potions. They must remain wary though, for if they add too many special ingredients into their concoctions, it may explode in their faces. Quacks of Quedlinburg is played over 9 rounds, and after all rounds are completed, the player with the most points wins. And that is this week's game. Congratulations to everybody who got it right, and for everybody else, there's always next week. But until then, I hope you have a happy breakfast and a happy Halloween. Say what? Oh dear, it seems like I've slept through another holiday.
Hi, we're Board Game Opinions. My name's Jonathan.
I'm Steve.
I'm Amy.
I'm Mark.
And this is our speed quiz where contestants are attempting to guess as many games as they can in a particular category. And this week's category is word games. Now, we've had to dread the bottom of the barrel a little bit here. We've gone for the top 3,000 possibly on Board Game Geek because they're not always that popular or highly rated. But there are 34 possibilities that they could have. And we're going to start with Amy.
Codenames.
Codenames is correct.
Paperback.
Paperback, yes.
Scrabble.
Scrabble is in there.
Codenames duet.
No, so I'm only going to allow one version of each game, so multiple versions don't count. Hardback does count though.
Just one.
Yes.
Trap words.
Yes.
Nomia.
Yes.
Decrypto.
It's easy, isn't it? Yes.
Spell smashers.
No. Not heard of that one.
Crosstalk.
Crosstalk, I'll give you. Yes.
Bananagrams.
Yes. You got quite a few
Scrabble.
in the cafe. Steve said Scrabble.
Oh.
Boggle.
Oh my
Boggle, I'll give you that. Yes. Boggle.
Word on the street.
Yes.
Unspoken words.
Yes.
Categories.
Yes.
Word slam.
Yes.
Oh.
My goodness, they're getting loads here. We've got I'll open it up to the floor.
Tension.
A few seconds left. No.
Charades.
No. And that's time. Give me a second to top up the scores and we'll see how they did. Alright, the scores are in. This week, Amy got 3, Mark got 6, and Steve just won with 7. Well done, Steve. Other games you could have had were Articulate, Boulder Dash, Letter Jam, Taboo, Chameleon, which is very good, and of course, Where Words. Were there any that you got that they didn't get? Thanks very much for watching. We will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Alrighty, folks. Well, that is it for today. We're really glad that you are here and joined us for Board Game Breakfast. Stick around. The marathon is about to start. We hope you enjoy it. Hope the internet works for it. But I want to do a big special thank you to our Board Game Breakfast. This is the last Board Game Breakfast you're going to see until next Thursday. Because again, since we're not doing work this week, the Board Game Breakfast won't go up next Monday. But there will be videos and there will be things going up after that. Starting on Tuesday, we're back with lots of stuff. So I'll see you guys then. Thanks so much for watching our channel as always. Until then, I'm Tom Vasel. And if you're in America, have a happy and wonderful Thanksgiving.
Thanks for watching Board Game Breakfast. Tune in each week for your daily dose of gaming goodness with Tom Vasel and all the gang. Until next time, I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching Board Game Breakfast, a Dice Tower production. Thanks so much for watching another Dice Tower video. If you enjoy our videos, subscribe to the channel for more fun, comprehensive board game coverage. Also, consider joining us at one of our events. Come to Dice Tower Retreat, a small, intimate gathering where gaming is king. Join us for Dice Tower Cruise, the largest board game cruise. Attend Dice Tower West in Las Vegas for gaming fun on the West Coast, or Dice Tower East in Orlando in sunny Florida. Dice Tower Conventions, the friendliest gaming conventions on Earth. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.